Alright everyone, Shikai Hogan here, giving you a somewhat casual review for today. In this video, I'll be reviewing the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C, but unlike the others, I'll try to make it as casual as possible so it's easy for you to get the needed information and decide on your own whether you buy it or get more information from other reviewers that goes deeper. That said, let's start with a huge warning to not confuse this with the other version of Ultimate 2 in the series. I don't know what was 8BitDo thinking with this series, but it felt like they tried so hard making it confusing. The easy way to differentiate the Ultimate 2C and the other versions are it only has extra bumpers called fast bumpers, which we'll talk about in a bit, no back button, only has 2 types of connection, and has no dock functionality at all. Adding to the confusion, just like its other models, all of them has Bluetooth, or BT for short, which are the model to go for if you need to switch compatibility. So yeah, there are 6 different versions of what should be only 2 or 3 controllers with practically the same thing with small differences. But for today, we only focus on the Ultimate 2C for an obvious reason. Well, because that's the only thing that I have from this particular lineup. Now that's out of the way, let's actually talk about the controller, shall we? Now this is the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C, the very base model of the Ultimate 2 lineup, which only have the fast bumper, no back button, and can't use the dock at all. It's priced between $20 to $30 at the time when I bought it, but maybe a little bit different by now in some places, so who knows, making it the cheapest and practically the budget version of the Ultimate lineup. The general shape of the model is on the smaller size for my hands, and the side grip angle is pretty close to square shape with Xbox style or Switch Pro controller layout, forcing me to hold it a bit further to keep my wrist comfortable in longer session. But since there's no back button attached on this model, you can support it much better with your fingers underneath there. The face button is membrane and doesn't go flush with the body when pressed completely. This is just my opinion, but a good membrane button will feel nice to press without fatiguing your finger in longer session easily. And safe to say, 8BitDo has done very well on this one, cause I don't get fatigued that much when I play on a longer session. The D-pad uses tactile switches that doesn't make loud click, and by far one of the best one I've used on a controller, competing against Xbox One controller D-pad and Thrustmaster T150 D-pad, which do make louder click sound. Diagonal press is placed nicely where you can easily hit it without causing accidental input towards it while pressing one direction. That said, it requires a short break-in period by massaging the D-pad lightly for 5 to 10 minutes since the silicone dampener is a bit stiff and causes you not making drag input if the silicone dampener is underneath there, because I don't know that. Both bumpers and fast bumpers also use tactile switches, but making a bit more noise since there is no dampener unlike the D-pad. These bumpers are really easy to reach with both index or middle finger. It's also pretty responsive since travel distance is very short and easy to tell when you press it due to its tactility. As for the joystick, it uses Hall effect module, which is getting more common between third-party controllers for the last few years. It may not have the TMR module like the top of Ultimate 2 line or their latest release, which is the Pro 3, but for most people, it's more than good enough to replace any potentiometer-based joystick that are sold way too expensive for their own good these days. Anyway, the tension and the stick height are pretty standard in my opinion, so transitioning from similar layouts shouldn't be a problem. But the biggest issue I have is the RAW mode is a bit off center right out of the box and has no way to recalibrate it by yourself, so I just turned the remote off. For connectivity, it only has two types of connection as I said earlier. It only has Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz dongle. Well, there is third one which is wired, but if you only want a wire controller, they do sell this with the wire only version, so you know, just go get that instead. That said, this controller is only compatible with Windows and Android, and pretty much nothing else officially. Pretty limited, but I guess that makes sense with their pricing as this is the cheapest one of the lineup. But you know, it works for my needs, so I'm kinda whatever with that. The last thing I think some of you may wanna know is that if you're a mobile player and want the phone clip, they are using the same clip from the Ultima 2 series in general, and yes, this thing can be used on it as well. It's just that since it doesn't have the slot molded into this version, the knobs on the phone clip won't have anything to bite into, so there is a potential that your phone may move side to side under heavy movement. Though I never really experienced it, so So, in conclusion, my experience using it so far is that it's a pretty good controller for what it is, relatively cheap, has a really good parts where it matters, and it just works. Of course, it's not exactly without its flaw, with it having no ultimate software support, which I forgot to mention, for no real good reason outside of punishing the buyer who decided to save some money, and the fact that it has no recalibration function from what I'm aware of, making the remote is kinda useless since it's kinda off center if it's out of the box. At least in my item, because who knows on others, so I hope it's not like this. So who is this controller for? Well, platform-wise, it's certainly only for PC and Android users officially, since those are the only compatible device that they're putting on. And obviously I cannot really test it on other platforms because, well, I only use these two platforms. Well, if anything, I only have these two platforms on my hand, so I cannot really test things on others. The second type of people that may want to get this controller would be people who want to keep it at low enough budget while getting some of those Hall effect goodness and some neat features like quick button rebind that can be mapped to the two extra buttons near the shoulder buttons and triggers, and also it has turbo, which I don't even mention since I never really have any real use for it. Other than that, I can only think of people who may want to switch pro-shaped controller but never have any plan to play on the actual console for whatever reason. I mean, you do you. So yeah, that's pretty much it about this casual review of the 8BitDo Ultima 2C wireless controller. Let me know in the comment if you have it and your experience with it, or you noticed that I said something wrong or misinformation. Please let me know that, because I want to make sure people know that I make a mistake in this case, and maybe you want to avoid it at all and why. Let me know about that too. I hope this is informative enough, or if not, at least you guys enjoy me yapping about the controller that I bought, and I'll see you on the next one. So yeah, that is for today. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep on living, buddy. Keep on living. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, everyone.